In this video, I'm going to move these two files from the WTK folder to the login folder just so it'll be easier for me to manage. That way all the files that I'm working on are in the login folder. And we can modify the user and user edit file as much as possible without affecting the regular Wizards Toolkit access. Which means, of course, we're going to have to change the navigation. So here is where the navigation is in the client funcs.php file, which is in the WTK lib folder. So I'm going to change that to opening up in the login user. You don't have to put in the file extension. It assumes it's going to be PHP. So Ajax Go calls the page and appends PHP to the end of it. So I just copied the user.html file in there also so we can modify it to our heart's content. I pre-recorded this video and now I'm doing the voiceover edit afterwards. So I can tell you this was a mistake. The PG path is definitely necessary and I'm going to fix that by the end of the video. But this way you can see the process of how I did what I did. So in the HTML, by the way, this is one of the few files that I've created, user.php, which uses an external HTML file, user.html. And I did that mostly as a demo of, yes, you can have external files that you pull in that are HTML templates and then you modify. Most of the time, I just put the HTML in the PHP. But in certain circumstances, when you want to do really specific formatting, it's easier to do as a separate HTML file that you then import using WTK load include right there. The error that we got was a pathing error because it was in the WTK folder, and so if we need to make it in the login folder, every file needs to call WTK login, which is in the WTK folder, so that it can pull in all of your database connectivity functions and everything else. So now that part's working. When it saves, it's using WTK lib save.php. And at the end of the save, it redirects back to whatever page you tell it to redirect to after the save. And that is determined by WTK goto URL, which you can see right here. So I'm modifying it so that it recognizes the path to go to as if it was called from save.php, which it is. And since save.php is in WTK/lib/save.php, you have to put in the path. So when the file is required in save.php, it will find the correct file. All right, now let's try editing data and saving it. And here we see that it's having a problem finding the login HTML file, user HTML. And that's when I remember, oh yeah, that's why I have at the top this, if the Glow Connect already exists, then that means it must be coming from the save file. In which case, it's already put in the root path and the WTK login has already been required, so I need to adjust the path accordingly based on, hey, this is being called from the login folder or this is being called from the save page, which is in WTK lib folder. So that's why I have a PG path variable to define the path to the HTML file differently based on whether or not this page is being called or included from the save in the WTK lib folder, or is being called from the user.php file, which is in the login folder already. And now it's working. All right, I'm going to go to a different page, come back, verify it's working when called from the login page. Boom. Subscribe for more on the business of programming.